Welcome everybody to another OG55 live. I got George, the Disney Italiano, with me today. We are taking your questions, your comments about theme parks, movies, Hollywood, whatever you want to talk about, music, whatever it is, we will talk about it. We will, as George says in his Pennsylvanian accent, we will break it down. Up next on Jeezy, Biddy, Easy. Welcome aboard, everybody, to another episode of OG55 Live. We are answering your questions, taking your comments tonight, all about whatever really you want to talk about. You're going to guide the ship, y'all. You're going to guide the ship, whether it's theme parks, movies, whatever it is, music. Just comment down below and we will talk about it and break it down. I want to thank Sam Chat, Kiki and Luca, Remy D, Mr. Seymour Duck, everybody in the chat today. Thank you so much for joining us. George, how you doing, sir?
Doing good. Always enjoy doing these shows, these lives, interacting with everyone in the group chat and everyone throwing out their questions, and love the conversations. Love it all. So I'm glad to be here.
All right, Mr. Love It All. Where can everybody find you on social media?
Well, you can find me and Abby on Hollow Gelato, where we bring all the scoops on all things theme parks, movies, cruise ships, you name it. You can find it on Hollow Gelato, and also you can follow us on Instagram under Hollow Gelato as well.
There we go. And we actually have the mastermind behind the name Hollow Gelato. Hollow Gelato, Miss Mademoiselle Papel. She's in the house. What's going on, Mademoiselle? We also got Brandon in the house. What's going on, Brandon? It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. All right, let's go ahead and dive right in, George. We got some super chats already. We got Mr. Sam Chat with a $10 holla. What is going on, Sam? Spicy question. I love the Matterhorn, but a 6'1" guy like me, hey, I'm not too far behind you, brother. I'm 6 foot, and I'm probably 6'4" with my hair, to be honest. Always get stressed riding it because the tunnels are so narrow. Will it be torn down one day and replaced by Expedition Everest ride system and the Skyway? I don't think they're ever going to tear down the Matterhorn like completely and replace it with something totally different. But what you're suggesting, Sam Chat, where they might gut it and do a new ride system, I think 100% possible. I'll say that much, because this particular ride system that they currently have has caused a lot of problems for Disney. It's a very expensive, costly issue. It's also very uncomfortable to ride the Matterhorn. You know, I was telling George when George had his kidney stone this past summer, too bad the Matterhorn was closed, because he would have passed his kidney stone through his mouth. He would have spit that bad boy out. That thing is so bumpy. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very uncomfortable experience, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they gut it, the inside of it, and rebuild it with a new ride system, maybe similar to Expedition Everest or something, you know, along those lines. But yeah, we'll see what happens. The Matterhorn is an icon of the park. It's like the castle. It's like Small World. You can't get rid of it, but you can certainly update it. You can certainly upgrade it. And I think maybe one day down the road, they might do just that. What say you, George?
Yeah, I think sooner or later they're going to have to, because of the operation issues, you know, the maintenance issues. I think that they're kind of kicking the can down the road with it right now, because once they do approach that, there's a lot of, excuse me, up to code issues they have to check off, you know, the boxes. So, you know, and that's very costly and what have you. So I think in time they will, but yeah, they'll keep the Matterhorn Mountain actually as the structure itself. The interior and everything, they'll probably, gut and work their way up with a new ride system. But I think it would still pay tribute to the Alps of Switzerland kind of feel, rather than the Himalayan mountains.
There we go. And we got friend of the channel, Mr. Seymour Duck, is in the house for the food. $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Mr. Duck. We really, really do appreciate you. And actually, stay tuned, everybody, watching OG55. Seymour and I have a cool announcement coming very, very soon. Mr. Duck has been a part of the OG family for a little while now, so we're gonna do a little something special very, very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Kiki and Luca is in the house, and he says, obviously Stardust Racers should reopen when it's deemed safe, but what do you guys think goes into that calculation? On a side note, that park doesn't have that many attractions, and losing that ride. Yeah, here's the thing, Kiki and Luca. I don't want to sound like an alarmist, right? I don't want to sound like doom and gloom, but there is a real possibility that Universal does not reopen this thing. And I know that sounds kind of extreme, but you're dealing with someone who lost their life on this attraction. Sadly, obviously they lost their life. You have people basically lining up. Can you guys hear me okay, by the way? Is my audio coming in?
You kind of sound a little bit like you're underwater.
Okay. Yeah, it happens every now and then. How about now? Okay, cool. You had someone who unfortunately lost their life on this attraction. You have people lining up now to sue them. We have a second lawsuit on the way now, right? Universal might look at this and go, you know what? The juice ain't worth the squeeze, because George loves corny puns, so let's go with it, right? OG55, here we go. The juice ain't worth the squeeze, you know what I'm saying? So they might shut this thing down, right? So just be cognizant of that. And they might not. We'll see. They might just take steps to make it safer or whatever they have to do for the optics, whatever it is. But I think changes are coming, whether it's with the ride or whether it's with the vehicles, whether it's even removing it. Change is coming for this thing. I'm telling you that right now. In terms of what goes into the calculation of it being safe or not, I'm not really equipped, Kiki and Luca, to answer that. I'm not a ride engineer. I don't really know, but I would imagine whatever happened to the gentleman who lost his life, they're going to look at that accident and probably look into that as to can this happen to other people? People who have disabilities, people who have spinal injuries. Is this going to be an issue for this attraction? And if they say that it could be, it's possible they get rid of the attraction. If they say that, oh no, it was a fluke, okay, then we're good to go, probably. So we'll kind of have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm not really qualified to say what's deemed safe or what's not. But a company like Universal, they're gonna cover their ass, bro. They're gonna cover their ass big time, and they're gonna double make sure that this isn't gonna happen again. And if it means shutting the ride down and building something else in its spot, don't be surprised. What say you, George?
Well, and I think also too, that starts with possibly changing the harness of how you're actually going to be better equipped to sit in the ride vehicles. And I think for a lot of intense roller coasters with a lot of G's and a lot of that kind of maneuvering, I think honestly it probably would be best to have a better restraint of a pull down harness, to kind of better secure people's body movement, because even with Sam Chat that mentioned earlier, with his height and everything with the Matterhorn, each person is built differently, size, whether it's height, weight, body structure, we're all built differently. So our bodies are going to be able to handle what we can handle within ourselves. But when you're having something move for you, that's a completely different story. So I honestly think having a better restraint with the harness, I think would be much better.
Yeah, we'll kind of see how it all plays out. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how it all plays out. But I think anything's up in the air right now. Anything from changing the way the ride operates to changing the vehicles, even the speed of the attraction, or all outright getting rid of the whole thing, I think is on the table. So don't be surprised. Rogue Attraction here says Universal needs to redo the ride vehicles. Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. Like I said, we were looking at some pictures on a bi-weekly show we do with Jared from Capture the Magic, and those seats look pretty close to each other. You're pretty close to the seat in front of you. And this gentleman that lost his life, the autopsy was saying he had multiple blunt injuries. So, I mean, did he bang his head and or whatever on the seat in front of him? And is that an issue with this attraction? It might be. And again, I don't want to I want to make it very clear to everybody. I'm speculating. We're all speculating here, so there's no definitive answer yet. We got to wait for the officials to come out and kind of say what's going on. But yeah, a revamp or a reimagining of the ride vehicles is absolutely something that they might do.
Can you bring up Mr. Seymour Duck's super chat from my end. It won't let me like bring anything up.
What is it?
The $2 one.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah, thanks. I just wanted to bring it up too because he also gifted Hollow Gelato $2 for the food. Thank you, Mr. Seymour Duck. Appreciate you. And on Hollow Gelato, Abby and I do a lot of food reviews, so that'll definitely come in handy. So thank you very much.
They got, as they say, the inside scoop, right, George?
That's it.
There we go. The inside scoop with the gelato. Rogue Attraction, Velocicoaster hasn't had these issues, so I think it could be the distance between the seats. Yeah, 100%, 100% Rogue. I think there's definitely there could be something there. I don't want to say definitely, but there could be something there. Absolutely. Okay, so we got Mr. Kiki and Luca. Warner Brothers is killing it this year, but Disney has Utopia and Avatar coming up. Will Disney end up victorious in the box office race of 2025? Here's the thing, Kiki and Luca. That Avatar movie is that Avatar movie, bro, is going to be a beast. It's going to be an absolute beast. It's probably going to do $2 billion again, right? One of the issues with the theater going experience is that a lot of movies nowadays, people don't feel like it's worth going to the theater to see it, right? A lot of animated movies, they don't want to take their family of 4, family of 5 to go see an animated movie because they're paying $100 just to walk in the door. And that's not even without buying a soda and candy and all that crap, right? But with a movie like Avatar, you can't do the streaming thing. That's an event. That's an experience. You know what I'm saying? So for Avatar, that movie, I'm telling you, that could hit another $2 billion. Zootopia is probably going to do very well also. Both of those movies are going to do very well. Is it enough, though, to push Disney over the top? Because Warner Brothers has been killing it this year. I just don't know. I don't know. But these two movies will definitely help Disney move up the ranks at the very least. But I don't know if those two are enough to make it pull ahead. But we'll see. You never know, man. I mean, the Avatar stuff, dude, these movies make they make money. And it's possible that that it does even better than the other two. And it pulls Disney ahead. But we'll see. What say you, George? Do you think it's possible? Or
I think it is possible just with these two movies alone, because you're right, Avatar is a multi-billion-dollar film franchise. Fire and Ash, I mean, the trailers are banger. I'm definitely going to go into the theater to see it. I mean, James Cameron always steps up his game with it. So, I mean, we could potentially see 2 to 3 billion just with Avatar. And Zootopia, the first Zootopia made $1 billion at the box office, and people were craving a sequel literally right after the first one was made. So that anticipation of a sequel for Zootopia, I mean, it may even do better than the first one, depending on how the story goes. But what's so done well with the Avatar films is they save it for the very end of the year. So it ranks in the money at the very end of 2025, but it's going to bring in a monster amount of money at the beginning of 2026.
Yeah.
So that's genius.
No, it is genius. And you said money, so we got to do a money drop. Here we go. We got a few money drops here on the channel. Here we go.
Brand new money, brand new hundreds, got a bunch of zeros like a bag of new Funyuns.
Hey, Avatar is going to bring in those zeros like a bag of Funyuns. You know what I'm saying? 100 per. And we got Drew, the Disney dude, in the house. Drew, we love you, brother. We got to get Drew back on the channel. There's a lot to talk about. We got to nerd out with all this stuff.
Absolutely.
Always good to see Drew. Always good.
Can you do me a favor? Can you bring up what's up, 6 Miles Tall? I was just talking to OG. I was like, I haven't seen 6 Miles Tall in like God knows how forever. So glad you're able to join in.
Yeah, absolutely. Which one do you want me to bring up?
Can you bring up Johnny Ace's comment that is this the Stranger Things live, right?
Oh, go ahead. Do your point, because that's further up. I got to find it. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, sorry, bro. Yeah, so to that just made me laugh because that's when we were at the LA Comic-Con, and we did the Stranger Things live, which we thought was going to be like talking about the show and season 5 and everything. And it basically was like a therapy session. They had like four or five therapists, and they're basically trying to sell their product, but use Stranger Things as like their kind of wrap up kind of thing. It's like a door-to-door like salesman. They're trying to sell you like an infomercial, or like we'll give you a free cruise, but you have to sit through our 3-hour tutorial to get that free cruise.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Remy D with part 1 of 2. Monsters Unchained is simultaneously a masterclass in theme park attraction design and a failure. It is constantly a walk-on every day. Even other rides are seeing 2 to 3 hour waits. Even Forbidden Journey, another high-capacity ride, sees 45-minute waits on busy days. Not Monsters Unchained. Are people just not into horror? Here's the thing. I think people love the Universal monsters 100%. I think they are basically Universal's princesses, so to speak. The problem, though, Remy D, is that attraction is not a 4-quadrant everybody ride. And that's the problem. Not everyone wants to be freaked out and scared. It's like HHN kind of, right? It's not really everyone's cup of tea. So I think that's what's keeping people away. They don't want to get on there and, deal with all that. You know what I'm saying? I heard it's a great attraction. I heard it's amazing. But like, is your grandma going to want to go on this thing? Is your little kid going to want to go on this thing? Probably not. And that's the problem. It doesn't pertain to everybody. It's not everyone's thing. And so I just feel like that's keeping the demand down. I also think, to be fair, the capacity, from what I'm hearing, is very, very good. So that thing is going to like cycle people through really, really effectively. And that's also going to keep the wait times down. So it's not 100% a lack of demand, but I do think the horror element of it is keeping some people away 150%. George, your take, bro.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I've been on Monsters, and I love the ride. I really do. There are some flaws to it that I do wish that Universal would address, because there are some moments that you can kind of see, like the behind the scenes backstage kind of thing, where it kind of throws you out of the element. But the audio animatronics are like next generation audio animatronics. I love the attraction. The ride system is cool. It's much smoother than Forbidden Journey. I love the ride, but yeah, I think it's more so Universal's basically, it's like their oldest IP, but it feels like it's the IP that has to pull its weight, because how relevant really is it in today's time? And Universal has to convince the new park goers, to say, hey, this is a franchise we're proud of, and we're going to give it to you, and hopefully you check it out. And I think that the Universal leaning into some of its older IP is a smart move. I really do. One of my biggest criticisms of Universal, like in the modern era, is they were way too minion heavy, right? Everything was the minions. It's like, oh my God. I love the fact that they're starting to embrace Back to the Future again. I love the fact that they're embracing the monsters again. Like, these are classic Universal IP they should be embracing, but with a thing like Monsters and how crazy Universal gets with this stuff, right? You have to understand that that's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love HHN. I do. I think it's a great time. I love it to death. But I understand my mom ain't going to HHN, dude. Grandma's not going to HHN. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing. On the contrary, though, there are some grandmas that do go to HHN, because this poor little old woman sitting in this wheelchair, her family takes her to HHN so they can utilize the handicap entrance, and they basically just let this little poor old lady sit in the wheelchair all by herself. She didn't even know what the hell was going on. But
yeah, that's fantastic. Hey, shout out to all the grannies out there that are going to HHN. You're doing it. You're doing it. 100%. Storybook. Always good to see you, Storybook. Thank you so much for joining us today. Which sci-fi gadget would you want to exist the most, and what would you use it for? I don't know if you would say it's a sci-fi gadget, but I've always wanted, I've always wanted to have a hoverboard from Back to the Future. I don't know. You don't agree, George, or what? You seem like confused. I don't know.
No, I mean, I would no, because I was trying to think of like as a sci-fi gadget. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could, because it is futuristic. So I guess you probably could. Now, what I would kind of want, the first thing that came to my mind when I thought of sci-fi gadget, Now, of course, I wouldn't actually be utilizing this in real life. It's just for fictitious sake. But the little old cricket alien gun that Tommy Lee Jones gives to Will Smith in Men in Black, where it's a small little tiny thing, but it packs a big punch.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, no, those are our choices: hoverboard and the little. What is it?
The little. Well, okay. Again, I know people are kind of like on the fence of this word, but I'm quoting Will Smith from the movie. He calls it the little old midget cricket. That's what he calls it.
The midget cricket.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna. I do apologize, folks, everyone that's watching on Hollow Gelato. So since this is an OG55 live and we're doing a multi-stream, I don't have controls to pick and choose. So that's why. So if we see your comment, we'll definitely get to it. But I just want
it probably works out better that way. You know what I'm saying?
I knew you were going to. I knew it. I was waiting.
I can mess with George. I love messing with George, you know. But Drew the Disney Dude here says, hypothetically speaking, how would you guys feel about a new Tangled scene coming to Storybook Land at Disneyland? Oh,
I hypothetically would really like that.
Yeah, I would hypothetically love it too. I would hypothetically love it if they demolished the Fantasyland Theater, hypothetically, and put a Tangled Dark Ride there. Because that's what I really want to see. I want to see a full-fledged Tangled Dark Ride at Disneyland. I think Tangled is a great franchise. Come on, she's dope.
And then hypothetically, right down the hill from Tangled, I would hypothetically love to see Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast go in where the motorboat cruise area is.
There we go. There we go. Absolutely. Absolutely. And BYMH 2020 just watched Back to the Future, the musical in Sydney, and had a blast.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
There we go. It sounds fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so let's get everybody riled up with some Star Wars stuff, because nothing is more divisive than anything Star Wars. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer? Any thoughts? Okay, here's my thoughts on it. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was terrible, but I thought it was okay, right? I think on the positive end of it, I'm gonna state my positives first. On the positive end of it, I think this is the best IP Star Wars can do for their first foray back into the movie theater experience, right? Since Rise of Skywalker. I think nothing has been more culturally relevant and big than Mando and Grogu. So I think this franchise is exactly what you want to lead with, especially with the normies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think most of the trailer looked really cool. I did have some critiques. I thought that some of the CGI, like with the AT-AT walkers and all that, I think that looked a little cheesy. Maybe they can touch that up. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was okay, Kiki and Luca. Like, I'm not trying to trash it or anything like that. I thought it was okay. I love the poster actually the most. The poster was really dope. Had that old school kind of like Saturday morning cereal kind of vibe to it, right? The old timey vibe, right? I love that, which actually was the inspiration for Star Wars in the first place, right? Like the Buck Rogers stuff. Yeah, it was okay. I mean, we'll see. You know, we'll see how it does. In terms of Star Wars, though, the trailer that got me even more excited than that, though, was Star Wars Visions Volume 3. You know, Star Wars Visions has been crushing it, and Volume 3 is going to be a bunch of anime studios and their creative perspective on this universe. And I have loved Star Wars Visions both times that they've done this, and I am sure this season will be just as dope. So the Visions trailer actually impressed me more. I will say that. But I don't know. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, even though I'm critical of Mando and Grogu, I'm still going to see it. I'm still going to support Star Wars. I love this franchise. It's not perfect. Do I love every decision they make? No, I don't. Do I love every movie, every show? No, I don't. But at the end of the day, though, I love Star Wars, and OG will give it a chance. I'm going to see it in theaters. I'm going to support this franchise, even though the trailer kind of mid, in my opinion. But what say you, George?
Yeah, I mean, definitely I'm going to go see it in theaters, you know, obviously, you know, because I'm very curious to see how it is. I am a Mandalorian fan, you know, been a fan. I love the first two seasons. Third one, it was okay. I think as far as like promoting this film, I think it's a wrong way of a direction to call it season 4. And I feel like that's where they're treating it like a season 4, because it does give off like a series kind of long-term, like part 1, part 2 episode, where I want to have that feel that it actually is a full-length feature film. You know, that was my biggest critique on it based off of the trailer. Now, again, could that change when I see the movie? Yeah. Absolutely. Could it be a banger, action-packed, thrilling adventure? Absolutely. Could it have a killer soundtrack? More so, if you know, absolutely. Because I mean, Star Wars, you know, the score is banger, you know, in itself. It's its own character. But you know, where'd
you hear that from, George? I feel like someone said that before about the music being its own character. I don't know. It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I'm just messing with you.
So that's where I heard it. Okay. So anyway, but yeah, so I'm very excited to see it. As I said, I do have my concerns because of the pattern that Lucasfilm gives us, where we see a trailer, we say, oh, we're interested. And then you see it. And then it's like, what was that? Like, why was that even worth my time?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. You know, I feel you. Mademoiselle Papel, 499 super chat. Thank you so much, Mademoiselle. The Italiano and OG. Yoda trains Leia instead of Luke. What happens? Go ahead, George. What do you think happens? Anything? Would it change, or what do you think would occur?
Well, I mean, I know that they mentioned, like in the original, where if Luke did fail, you know, there is a significant other that can, you know, bring balance to the Force, and they were speaking of Leia. So I feel like the training would be a little bit more different, you know, but I think even though that they didn't showcase Leia, you know, having like the kind of Jedi kind of powers that Luke, you know, used, usually just like the feeling and using the Force. But I feel like that if Yoda did train Leia, the same events would go as how with Luke, but she would have been more of a traditional kind of like Rey, like how Rey was trained and utilizes the lightsaber and everything. But being that she didn't, Leia kind of uses a different symbolic term of like the Force.
You're really trying to rile up the Star Wars fans and say that Leia would have turned out like Rey, huh?
Yeah.
Kidding. No, but I actually agree with you. I agree with you completely. You know what I'm saying? I do believe it would have been it would have went down the same way. But yeah, it's interesting. You know, I would, you know, it's kind of curious. I would love Disney to do like a show that's not canon, obviously, but like a show where, like, I guess you would call it like a multiverse of sorts, where you kind of see alternate pathways that they can go. Like, what if Anakin didn't go to the dark side, right? What if Yoda trained Leia? What if, you know, all kinds of stuff, you know what I'm saying? I think that would be really, really dope. I don't know. I would be interested in a show like that. I mean, comment down below if you guys would be interested in a Star Wars kind of like what if series, because I think there's a lot of potential there, and you can kind of play in that creative sandbox without actually, like, you know, committing to canon. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Mademoiselle, I want to thank you. Always good to see you in the chat. And James Gorgie says, hope for the best for Mando and Grogu. It does look fun. That is one thing, James, I do agree with you. Regardless of what people think of the trailer, there's one thing I think most people can agree on as fans. It looks like a lot of fun. It's a fun trailer. It's a fun vibe. And that's cool. That is cool. So,
yeah.
Okay, so let's go here, and we got a lot of comments. This is awesome. I love it. Pedro, what's up, Pedro? What's the future of the Disneyland Railroad with the chances of closing down Tomorrowland's Autopia with its electric cars in 2026? Well, I think what Pedro is referring to, and Pedro, if you're still in the chat, comment down below and let me know if I'm right or wrong here. I think what he's suggesting is, because I know California has a new law coming out where by 2035, vehicles have to be, all new vehicles or something like that have to be electric. I don't know if that pertains to a train, though. I don't know. But the train, from what I understand, runs on clean energy anyway. You can smell it. It smells like canola oil when you're standing over there by the train station. So I don't know if that would even be included in any kind of new clean air law that California has. I think we're safe with the railroad. I don't think it's going anywhere. But here's the other thing too. I mean, and this might be controversial, and California law aside, I would be 1000% okay with them getting rid of Autopia anyway, Pedro. I mean, I know it's an opening day attraction, but that takes up a lot of real estate. I don't know. Is it even worth updating the cars? Is what I'm saying. Like, do we need to update them? Can we get rid of the whole thing? And if you get rid of Autopia and the Submarine Lagoon, you have a massive amount of expansion space there. You know what I'm saying? It's right in between Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. You can either make it mostly Fantasyland, which would probably be the moneymaker, or you can do Tomorrowland. But why do we still have this attraction? I don't know. That's just my take on it. And I know it's an opening day thing, so a lot of people are sort of, it's hard to let go. You know what I'm saying? I get that. I get opening day things are always hard to let go. But I think that the amount of space it takes up and the fact that we're already kind of tight on space at Disneyland anyway, is it worth taking up that much room? Really? I don't know. But what say you, George? The railroad and all that.
Yeah, as far as with Autopia, honestly, this is a hot take, but I think it should have been gone already. You know, it does take a big chunk of real estate. You could probably get a mini land within a land. And I feel like that people are, you know, they're hard to, it's hard to let go. And I get that. I respect that, you know, but I feel like once you let it go and you wait and see what Disney can make, you know, I'm for sure you'll enjoy it just as much as you did Autopia, if not even more. You know, just give it a chance, you know. And again, everyone's not going to always like Disney's decision making, you know, but it's an ever, you know, growing theme park. You know, Walt didn't want a stagnant museum. You know, he wanted things to update in time. You know, as time progressed, that's what he wanted for Disneyland. So I'm definitely all for it, for sure.
There we go. There we go. Your Bob Iger check is in the mail, George. There you go, buddy. No, my theme park fanatic, formerly known as Brandon. Does anyone else get frustrated that Indiana Jones is replacing Dinosaur at Animal Kingdom? No, I'm not actually. I'm not. I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm a California guy, theme park fanatic. I grew up, born and raised out here in California. I love Indiana Jones. It's one of my favorite attractions. I think Indiana Jones is really like a step, like a foot towards the future and a foot towards the past, right? It feels like a modern day Pirates or a modern day Haunted Mansion. And I went on Dinosaur with this guy 2 years ago, and yeah, you know, I was polite. He asked me, "What'd you think?" I said, "Yeah, it's a ride, right?"
I quote you. I didn't hate it. Well, actually, I didn't love it either, but I didn't hate it.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing, though, because like I'm so used to Indy, and it's Indy is so spectacular. And Dinosaur was like, wow, that same ride system, that same thing feels so different with the set pieces and the music. I'm telling you, I don't know if you're in Florida, Brandon, but you're gonna love Indy. If it's anything like ours, you're absolutely gonna love it.
So
my only thing though, real quick, George, my only quibble with the Animal Kingdom one, I haven't heard if Tony Baxter is involved yet. And see, this is my concern with a lot of the new Florida projects. They're doing a lot of stuff without the geniuses behind the old stuff. And what I mean by that, they're doing Cars Land, Piston Peak in Magic Kingdom without Lasseter. Now, before people in the chat get on me about Lasseter, I'm not saying him as a person. I'm just saying creatively, the dude loved cars, okay? And he knew this franchise more than anybody. So it does worry me he's not involved in the new thing. That worries me creatively, aside from his personal problems, right? The other thing, we don't have Tony Baxter, as far as I know, doing Indiana Jones at Animal Kingdom. So we have two of these legends that are not involved in these projects like they were at Disneyland Resort. That worries me. That doesn't mean that they're going to be bad, but that does concern me, Brandon. So I just want to put that out there. Go ahead, George. Sorry.
No, all good. So here's the thing. My thing is I'm kind of yes and no. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to see something new, something fresh. I do share the same thought concerns, you know, that You have the newer generation working on something that was originally done with the original Imagineer. So are they going to bring it up in a much better understanding of how it was originally? Now, here's the thing too. I feel like Dinosaur, it was more nostalgia for me because I grew up with Dinosaur, living on the East Coast, going to Walt Disney World quite often.
Wait. You said you're from the East Coast, or you're more on the East Coast?
Well, no, I meant I grew up on the East Coast.
So you can't say that. He's not from the West Coast. And that's no disrespect. That's just facts. Like, you can't say that because you're not from the West Coast. You would have to ask the West Coast.
Go ahead, bro. Just kidding. I'm in a mood today. It's funny. I love it.
Of course. But in any case, I feel that it is time for Dinosaur to go. I feel like that Disney just can't get the dinosaur effect right like Universal does. Well, and to be fair too, Universal has a big like box office juggernaut of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World than Disney ever would. But my concern is too, how is it also going to fit in with the tropical Americas, coming out of the tropical Americas into the animal kingdom kind of realm? And to be honest, Indiana Jones for me is like a Disneyland thing. So it's like, that's my favorite ride in the whole entire park of Disneyland. And I always knew that if I wanted to do anything substantial of Indiana Jones, aside from the stunt show that's over at Hollywood Studios, but to ride on an Indiana Jones attraction, I had to come over here to Disneyland. So even though it's going to be completely different than the one out here, it's still like same ride vehicle, same ride layout. It's like, I think we could have done maybe something a little bit more creative, but it's still probably going to be great. I can't wait to ride it. I can't wait to see, but it's just the Italiano being nitpicky. You know, I would have done something a little more original.
There we go. Lucas and Disney question: what's your view on Gen AI, and if you think it's causing more harm than good by affecting the art industry as well as music too? A lot of artists feel that AI has become more harmful instead. Yeah, Lucas, this is a great question. And I really want to do a whole video with like George and like Jay Shear and Seymour Duck and really dive into this AI stuff, because I would agree for the most part. I think AI is a great tool in our toolbox to use, but at the same time, I don't want to see it replacing creatives. I don't want to see it replacing like human beings. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see a full-length Disney animated movie done by AI, you know, and that is potentially where we are going with this. I don't want to see that, you know?
Because people don't know when enough is enough. It's like they always want to push bigger, better, harder. And it's like, that's great, you know, as far as technology goes, but you're allowing technology to replace the artist, you know, and it replaces the talent. It replaces the hard work. And it's like, essentially, is it going to be what I like to call the Wall-E syndrome? Are we going to literally become where we let technology and robots literally roll us, where we just sit around doing nothing and become big old couch potatoes?
Yeah, we do not want to become couch potatoes. And that's exactly 100% right. People don't know how to, especially like corporate America and stuff like that. They don't really know how to control themselves and what have you. And you have this amazing technology, which is awesome. And there's so much potential there, but it can totally be misused, right? It's a slippery slope. But the good news is that companies like Disney and companies like Comcast Universal, they are suing. I know that sounds terrible, but they are suing to sort of keep things kind of contained a little bit, because this could turn into something bigger. So I do like that these big companies like Universal, like Disney, are sort of trying to sue to protect their IP and what have you, so it doesn't get way out of control. So we'll see, Lucas, but it is concerning, absolutely. Now, the one and only Mr. Theme Park Wizard is in the house. Mr. Wizard, it's always good to see you. I'm going to have actually Wizard on here on the channel very, very soon. We're going to do an awesome little Universal video, so stay tuned for that. But I want to give a big shout out to Wizard. He's like my little brother. I love this guy so much. And he's on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to Wizard on YouTube if you like Disney. Obviously, if you're here, you do. So go subscribe to Wizard. And he's huge on Universal. So make sure you show him all the love. Plus, he is a fellow fellow what? A Californian.
Woke up looking for the broccoli.
There we go. So, okay, I got actually before I forget, because I will forget. This is courtesy of Mr. Matthew Murr, all the way from the UK. He's been having some issues with his YouTube and leaving comments. So I told him I would take one of his questions via email. So now, Matthew, I want to say this is question 1. Question 2 will be in tomorrow's live stream with Sean from Walt's apartment. So I want to let you know, but we'll do question 1 tonight. Do you think Bob Iger in 2012 could have appointed anyone better to run Lucasfilm since he hadn't yet lost his way? I really believe he could have appointed a Favreau or a Feige-like figure, provided that Lucas wasn't bent on hiring Kennedy. Lucas truly is the only person who I think can really blame for Kennedy's appointment in the first place. No, he is the one to blame. He is the one to blame. You know what I'm saying? And that George Lucas was the person who put Kathleen Kennedy in charge. It was not Bob Iger. And a lot of people, you see a lot of YouTube channels with the red laser eyes and the whole thing about how, No, it was George Lucas's decision. And now look, I have critiques, major critiques on how Kathleen Kennedy ran that studio and how she's continuing to run that studio. Believe me, she's not perfect, but that was a George Lucas decision. That was not a Bob Iger decision, right? Now, here's the thing, Matthew. In hindsight, yeah, if we have a time machine, we can go back in time and we can have someone else run the studio and everything could be, perfect, right? But at that time, nobody thought it was a problem to have Kennedy there. The energy going into Star Wars when Disney bought it was pretty good. People were pretty optimistic. You know what I'm saying? So, but here's the thing. Now they should move on. I think, I don't know why they haven't. I really don't. I mean, even Chapek, when he was running the studio a few years ago, why didn't he replace her? And again, she's a fantastic producer. She's brilliant in that field. I don't know if she's a brilliant studio head, though. You know what I'm saying? And I think a Feige, not a Feige, a Favreau would be perfect for it. Favreau is like the godfather of the MCU. You know what I'm saying? And he loves Star Wars. I think he's the dude to run the studio. But for some reason, Disney just doesn't want to cut the cord. They want to keep Kennedy there. I don't understand it. I really don't. She had a long tenure, a long run at Lucasfilm. Why can't we move on from it? I don't get it, bro. But George, what do you think?
What you said.
There we go. So perfect. Oh, give me 1 second. We have Seymour Duck. I forgot, Seymour, you had a question earlier, Seymour, about, there we go. I missed it. There we go. But you really don't want to add anything, George, to that?
No, honestly, you said it perfectly. Honestly, I would just be literally repeating everything that you said, because that's spot on exactly how my feeling is on it. I feel like it kind of starts at the top. No one twisted George Lucas's arm to sell Star Wars off to Disney. That was his decision. But once and also too, prior to that, Kennedy still being appointed part of Lucasfilm, he still had some say in with that. So the fact that she has been there, I don't know what Lucas's intentions were with her as far as like running the thing. Iger, like, I don't know. There has to be something extra that we don't know that goes on behind the scenes of why she's there that long. But I mean, hopefully in time that, she can move on.
Yeah, we'll see. Mr. Seymour Duck here says, let's talk anime, since it seems fitting with the thumbnail. Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys at home love the anime George and anime OG? I think they turned out really good. Do you guys, we look like we are like just testosteroned out. Like our fucking forearms are crazy in that thumbnail. It's pretty awesome, dude. It's pretty awesome. Do you guys believe anime is no longer a niche? It sure feels like it has become mainstream global force embraced by Gen Z and Alpha. No, anime is mainstream as mainstream can be right now. Everyone loves anime. Everyone loves even K-pop, dude. I'm a big K-pop guy. I love K-pop. Blackpink. I mean, all those girls have brand deals with like Saint Laurent and Chanel and Louis Vuitton and all this stuff. These brands from South Korea and Japan, and anime and all that. I mean, it's absolutely mainstream right now, and the younger generation is embracing it like we've never seen before. You know what I'm saying? So it's 100% mainstream right now, Seymour Duck. I think it's only going to get bigger. I think Universal has been very smart in embracing this stuff. We've seen One Piece over at Universal Fan Fest. There's rumors that they might even do a One Piece attraction over there at Islands of Adventure. I think Disney should kind of get on this train a little bit. I know our friend Mademoiselle, she texted me recently saying that like Disney Plus does have a lot of K-pop stuff, which is a fair point. I want to bring that up. But I would like to see Disney go even a little bit further with it, you know?
Well,
but,
I was actually talking to Seymour via text earlier, and he had brought up like a trailer of Wicked Wonderland, which is going to be like an anime kind of style for Disney because it's based off of the game that Disney has and everything. And so Disney is kind of already kind of slowly like under the table starting to move in that direction. I think honestly, if Wicked Wonderland is just as big as the gaming, I mean, you could see merch, you can see, you know, streaming, film, you know, possibly, you know, integrated into the theme parks, you know. So I think, you know, anime is going to be like the newer kind of animation where it brings the 2D back without it necessarily being like the classic, you know, like Disney animation, but maybe that's a portal, so to speak, to get to that again. Because when it comes to anime, people really don't care whether it's computer animation or, you know, 2D cell or what have you. People just love anime.
They do. And I really respect the Japanese and what they do with animation because I feel like their culture sees animation as a medium, not a genre. And what I mean by that is animation is a way to tell a story, but that story could be adult. It could be family friendly. It could be for kids only. The Japanese understand that. I think American audiences still see animation as a family genre, which is not, animation is not a genre. It is not a genre. But Sean Narani here says OG55's hair looks anime with how it defies gravity. You're 100% correct. Actually, it's funny. A friend of mine in college actually told me that I look like a Japanese drawing of a white guy, which I thought was pretty funny. So take that for what it's worth. And we have friend of the channel, the one, the only Mr. Hey Bricky. Bricky Vlog is in the house. Everybody at home, Bricky has two channels. He's got Hey Bricky and he's got the Bricky Vlog. After the show, I'll be linking both of those in the description. If you are not following this man on YouTube on both of those channels, what are you doing? If you're a Disney fan, come on. You know what I'm saying? We love Bricky. He's a good dude. Support this man. If you're not following both of his channels, do so down below after the show. I'll be putting them in the description so everyone can kind of do that. But he says here, Lucasfilm's output has historically been low. They tend to overthink everything, and Disney's attempt to pick up the pace has fallen flat. Kind of broken studio when compared to other studios. 100%. 100%. You're right, though. That's a great way of putting it. They do. They overthink everything. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the best thing to do is just have fun and kind of go out there. Even as people, when we overthink things, you tend to mess it up, right? I think you have to sort of jump in and kind of do it. And I feel like Lucasfilm, they're all over the place. Rise of Skywalker was a perfect example, Ricky, of overthinking it. Right, where they were like focus grouping the hell out of that movie, where it was like everything was very what's the word for it? Like we're trying to please everybody, right? We're trying to please like, you know, the Phantom Menace crowd. We're trying to please like the other side of the aisle and all this stuff. Thank you, Jem. Appreciate that. Thank you. Bricky's vlog is in the comments. Thanks to Jem. Appreciate you so much, Jem. But they overthought Rise of Skywalker, and it really honestly didn't please anybody. You know what I'm saying? So what say you, George? What do you think about that, brother? You're muted, George.
Sorry. Okay. So yeah, for me, I think it's I feel like when it comes to like, you know, with Lucasfilm and Star Wars and everything, and this is kind of where it goes back to even like when we were talking about The Mandalorian and everything, it just feels like it gets so deep in the lore of Star Wars where you can literally create anything, and that's good in a way, but it can kind of get a little bit detrimental in that sense, because sometimes, I always say it, sometimes too much is too much. You know, sometimes then you could just get something like basic and everything, and I feel like where the mindset is, okay, how can we keep like Star Wars going, and what can we do and what can we create? But I think, again, if you kind of overthink things, it's like sometimes you just have to just kind of keep it simple. That's my thing, just in general with Star Wars in general. But I mean, I think honestly, like if they kind of get out of that corporate side of like how to run Star Wars and just like create something for all of us to enjoy, whether it's streaming, whether it's on the big screen, whether it's in the theme parks, I think honestly, just keep it simple. That's what I say. But be in a creative way.
Simplicity there's beauty in simplicity, right? Like even with Disney parks, like if you look at some of the coolest elements of a lot of these nighttime shows, like World of Color, for example, like one of the best segments of that original show was that simple moment with the Little Mermaid's a score and the blue fountains. There really wasn't much to that, but with that music and just those blue fountains kind of rising, it was very, very powerful. I get more goosebumps from that than I do when they're doing these shows that throw like every effect at you at once, right? There's beauty in simplicity. And, sometimes you can, like George said, you can do too much. So Angel Clavecia with a $5 super chat. Hey, George, can you please make my mom go on all the mazes with us at HHN? Yeah. Doesn't she usually go on all the mazes or no? Am I tripping?
Well, yeah, here's the thing. She has, but I mean, she was telling Angel like she would like do the ones that she didn't do. So she doesn't have to do the ones that she already did. But babe, I know you're still watching. Angel gifted us a $5, so you might be a little bit obligated to do all the mazes. I mean, it's I don't know, so I'm gonna let you make that call. I'm gonna do all the mazes with them, like regardless. I think I'm gonna do as much as I can. And thank you again, Angel. Appreciate you for the $5 super chat. And then when we're at HHN, maybe I'll get you an orange Fanta or something if you want one.
There we go. Hey, we got the one and only Bob Iger in the house. Bob Iger with the red laser eyes. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so let's go ahead. I've got a lot of great comments here. We got James Gorgie, not to mention that Rey and Palpatine's words to each other before Rey killed Palpatine is like Iron Man and Thanos' words to each other. Yeah, you know what? One of my biggest criticisms of the sequel trilogy is I think there was a real opportunity, James, to give us a dark side Rey, like Empress Palpatine. Like she was related to Palps. Let her go full dark side, bro. An Empress Palpatine, Rey Palpatine would have been sick, dude. Can you imagine that? And then that would have set you up perfectly for the next trilogy because now you have your baddie. You know what I'm saying? A baddie more than one way. She's a baddie as a villain, but she also is a baddie. You know what I'm saying? But I think that would have been amazing if they would have done that. But they took the safe route. They took the safe route, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. It just wasn't great. It really wasn't great. We got Matterhorn Mania here. What do you think the next major announcement for Disney parks? My money is Moana. Yeah. Honestly, Matterhorn, that's good money because Moana is the franchise right now making all the money. I mean, she's a powerhouse on Disney Plus. She is massive. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a big Moana attraction at Magic Kingdom. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something like that out here in California.
I think honestly that should be like her rapper name, Mo Money Moana.
Rapper name, I love it. And we got Jabberwocky. You remember the Jabberwockies? I used to.
Oh yeah.
I used to love the Jabberwockies. They're awesome. The sequel trilogy needed a base storyline that would have helped each director craft a more coherent, straightforward story. It isn't hard. No, I agree with you, Jabberwocky, 100%. The problem is that the sequel trilogy, every movie was its own movie. But that's a problem when you're dealing with a trilogy. You're supposed to have a through line. You know what I'm saying? And they obviously didn't. So that was a major situation for sure. And Lord, I want to thank. Oh, sorry about that. Lord Jonathan, I want to thank you for joining us. Moana can't replace the Jungle Cruise classic ride. Well, take that up with George because George always wants the Jungle Cruise to go away at Disneyland. I don't know.
Dude, why. I'm sorry. Like you were like moving your hands and like the button went off, and you just like looked down and went, "Oh, sorry." You know what that actually looked like, don't you?
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you hit it with something else. It's
Yeah, exactly. George, there's not enough room in the gutter for the both of us. I love it. I love it. No, James Gorgie here says, name your number one choice for future Disney CEO. The tough one. I can tell you what. I can tell you right now, James. I'm not a big Tomorrow fan when it comes to CEO. I don't love what he's done with the parks. I think there's been a lot of missteps. A lot of people blamed a lot of stuff on Bob Chapek, and a lot of the stuff they were blaming Bob Chapek for, we still have today. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So at what point does Josh D'Amaro, does it fall on him? Because I hear a lot of fans say, well, it wasn't D'Amaro's fault because of Chapek, right? And now it's not D'Amaro's fault because of Iger. Well, then can we give him credit for any of the good stuff too, though? If we're not gonna blame him for any of the bad, then then are we allowed to give him credit for any of the good? I think he's the main dude when it comes to the experiences division. So I'm sorry, there's been a lot of decisions. You know what I'm saying? But again, if he becomes a CEO, I'll have an open mind. I'm willing to give the guy a shot, because when these people get in there, sometimes they go in a completely different direction. Bob Iger went in a completely different direction. Everyone thought Bob Iger was going to be Eisner 2.0, and he wasn't. He ran Disney much differently than Michael Eisner. Okay, so I'm willing to hear him out. I'm willing to see what Daddy Josh does, but I'm not sold on him. I was on board with Dana Walden. I think Dana is a brilliant executive, but she's fallen behind. The whole Jimmy Kimmel thing, I think, knocked her back way back. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she's in the running anymore, really. I mean, technically she is, but like realistically, I don't think she really is. I'd want a studio person in there. I think you need to have a studio person in there. The studio feeds the entire machine, James. I mean, you don't have a park without the studio, because the parks depend on the IP. So you need a studio person. So I don't know. Go ahead.
I think, honestly, for me, I would love to see them kind of look outside the box, out of the Disney bubble, and bring somebody into the bubble. You know, sort of like how they did with Eisner and Wells. Yeah. Well, again, Eisner has his, fair share of, not so successes, but I think any CEO is going to. You're never going to find someone perfect 100% of the time, And I feel like I say bring somebody else in. And again, I know that they probably won't ever do this again, but I still think a dual CEO role would work, because we've seen it work. We've seen it with Eisner and Wells. We've seen it with Walt and Roy, literally the founders of the company. Like, so for someone to say that it would not work, I don't see how it wouldn't.
No, I know. Actually, I was about a week ago, I was actually in the area where the original Walt Disney Studio used to sit, okay, on Hyperion Boulevard. And it is now a Gelson's Market, and that was so sad to me. But it was surreal to be just even in and around that. You know what I'm saying? But to your point, George, Walt and Roy, that's how this company was founded. If you want to do a Daddy Josh, Dana Walden co-CEO thing, I'm down for that. But I think you need to have a studio person in that capacity somewhere. I don't think a purely parks guy. Especially right now. I mean, look at all the changes going on with streaming. A seismic shift in the way people consume content. And you're going to have a parks guy go in there and try to navigate those waters. It's hard enough for seasoned Hollywood people to navigate those waters. And you're going to have Josh D'Amaro do it? I'm telling you, bro, it makes me nervous. It makes me really, really nervous. But we got Theme Park Wizard here.
Really quick, I will say, though, you know what they should do? They should tear down the Gelsons. And if they're going to end up getting rid of the Hyperion Theater in DCA for Avatar or Avengers or whatever it's going to go there, move the Hyperion Theater over back to Hyperion and do something with the theater. Just pick it up and put it over there.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no, it was cool though. It was cool to be like in that spot with the old pre-Snow White studio, and then around the corner you can find Walt's old house, which is also very, very cool.
That's cool.
So yeah, check it out for sure. Theme Park Wizard here says, did you hear that starting in January 2026, Comcast will have a co-CEO in Mike Cavanaugh, who will be co-CEO with Brian Roberts? I did not hear that, Mr. Wizard, but I mean, come on, Disney. What's going on, man? Universal's doing it the way it should be done. I mean, come on.
And they're the ones that spearheaded that. Like, again, like it came from their company. Like, why wouldn't it work?
Right. Exactly. Brandon Smith. Now I'm gonna say something that might make the anti-woke crowd kind of mad, but this is just my opinion, okay? But Brandon here says Dana was from 20th century way before the Disney acquisition. Yes, she was, Brandon. And a lot of people, a lot of anti-woke people, right, will tell you Dana Walden is woke. She's going to ruin Disney. Dana Walden used to work for Rupert Murdoch, okay, high-profile conservative in Hollywood. Rupert Murdoch has had nothing but good things to say about Dana Walden, despite the fact that they're both politically opposite. Dana is more progressive, and Rupert is obviously very conservative. So she was able to handle that dynamic at Fox and be successful. So this whole idea, and Brandon, I'm not talking to you, by the way, about the politics. I'm just bringing up a general point. When I hear people say Dana's woke and she can't do the job because she's too polarizing, I'm sorry, I have to disagree with that. She was able to handle her business at Fox, working under a very much a conservative. So she can do it. And I think she's capable, but I think she's
a lot of these people be doing that anyway, like regardless of like what side is on. Like everyone should be able to like work cohesively, and not even really care of like what side you're on. I just don't understand like why that is even like a make or break situation when it comes to company sides, you know.
100%. And Theme Park Wizard out here exposing me. I'm woke. Hey, Wizard, you can see the red laser eyes from here, right? I'm woke. I'm really, really woke. And Jabberwocky here said they should bring in Kevin Meyer and Tom Staggs as co-CEOs. I'm telling you, from your lips to God's ears, Jabberwocky. Mayer can handle the studios and Staggs can handle the part. I'm telling you, it's easy right there. It's easy. And Wizard said, cancel OG. Yeah, cancel me. I'm woke. Cancel me, guys. Cancel me. And Cali sucks. Yeah. No. Wizard and I, he jokes, but Wizard and I are the biggest Cali guys. We absolutely love California.
Hey, must have on the beat, ho.
There we go. And then
I will say I do agree with Jabberwocky though. Like he says, I was a big Staggs fan when he oversaw the parks, and honestly, Staggs I thought was going to be the one that would be like taking us home. And sure enough, we get freaking Chapek, which I wasn't even a fan of him, like when he moved into parks. And I knew that was going to be an issue. And the second Iger moved him over to CEO, I thought we're going to have problems, and damn sure did we.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Chapek is actually a really brilliant business person, but he's not good for Disney. So if you have Chapek running Coca-Cola, or you have Chapek running, American Express or something, he'd be fine. He'd be great, actually. But running Disney, no. And T.S. Wade here says, I'm sorry, Orange, but I don't know if I can trust Dana Walden. I'm hoping for an outsider. Hey, Wade, there's nothing wrong with that. 100% understand you're being skeptical, and being skeptical is healthy. I 100% see where you're coming from. I honestly feel the same way about Josh Giamaro. You know what I'm saying? So it's perfectly fine to feel like that and to not fully trust, but just have an open mind though, no matter who it is, you know what I'm saying? And kind of see what they do when they get in that position. Bob Iger here says special access granted. Absolutely. And Theme Park Wizard, here's a question. What's up with Downtown Disney? Why do all the projects seem stalled over there? Yeah, like that ESPN Zone thing. It's taking like 9 years to paint. I don't know. I think Wizard, what it is, it's a fiscal period issue where yeah, that too. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's the vagus nerve, No. What I think it is, I think it's a fiscal period thing where Disney likes to spread these projects out over multiple fiscal periods to spread out the cost. I think it's a cost saving thing, in my opinion. What say you, George?
Yeah, I think, they like to stretch it out. So they can kind of like let like the budget fall during this fiscal and then move it to this fiscal. And like, I don't know who like runs the books for the finances and who does like that kind of stuff. But I just feel like that they should just like, if they're going to have the money and they're going to spend it, just do it all in one shebang and get it done so we could all enjoy it. you know.
Yeah. No, well said. Well said. And we said Jabberwocky here says, I wonder how involved Dana was with the Jimmy Kimmel debacle. Well, supposedly the firing, or not even firing, it's the suspension was Bob Iger and Dana Walden, right? But I mean, who knows though? You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, Dana did a really good job when she was at Fox, but she seems to be making all kinds of missteps at Disney. Why is that? It makes me wonder, like, is there an influence here? You know, like, is Bob Iger putting pressure on her to do things that maybe she wouldn't do normally? Because why is she underperforming at Disney, but she was basically overperforming at Fox, right? Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Sign of Humanity says Tim Cook, next Disney CEO. You never know. Yeah, no, you never know. I mean, big tech is really kind of taken over. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Really quick, bro. All the way up at the top, we actually missed this. It was at 7:57. It was Cassandra's question. She said, "Would like to hear how you are doing with the New Year's resolutions you both made at the end of last year."
Go ahead, George. I'm looking for it, but I don't even remember mine.
So Cassandra, thank you. Welcome, and so sorry that we missed your question. It got lost into the mix there. Hope you're still watching. So I believe, I can't remember exactly what my New Year's resolution was, but I mean, if I had to guess, it would be more, just to kind of like grow, as a content creator and everything. And sure enough, I mean, it's already, even before the new year kicks in, I'm like ending 2025 with a bang. I mean, my YouTube channel is growing significantly at a rapid pace, which I was really surprised at. I've rebranded the channel, obviously, to Hollow Gelato and kind of make it more universal, not Universal the park. I mean, I do go to Universal, but more universal in the content that which we produce out, Abby and I. And then, yeah, so I mean, so far it looks like it's definitely my old resolution is coming true before the year is up, and I have to actually come up with a 2026 resolution for like the next milestone. But yeah, everything's going great. And again, Cassandra, thank you for your question, and I do apologize that we didn't get to see it when you actually put it in there. But also too, Cassandra, if you are still in the chat, I will be doing the all pumpkin and pumpkin spice tasting at Disneyland. So that one should be a doozy, because for anyone who knows me, I'm not a pumpkin flavor kind of guy, but I'm doing that definitely for you. So keep an eye out for that video.
There we go. Yeah, Cassandra, I don't really honestly remember my New Year's resolution, but this past year I've been trying really hard to eat a lot better. So I've been eating a lot healthier, which is good. And I feel better actually. And also in terms of my channel, I mean, it's looking like I'm probably going to hit 10,000 subs by the end of the year, which is amazing. I never would have thought it when I started this channel back in 2016. So yeah, all good things, eating better, channel's doing great. I got great friends like George and everybody in the chat. So I'm happy. So yeah, 100%, 100%. And speaking of great friends, Jabberwocky says, shout out to Drew, the Disney dude. Oh, his dad. He was our Uber driver from Riviera Resort to the Grand Floridian. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's actually very cool.
Very cool. That's really cool. I actually got to meet Drew's dad at Epcot. Really cool, down to earth guy. Really sweet. That's awesome. I can see where Drew gets his personality from, because his dad's really cool.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Mr. Wade here says, hey, George, Muppets no longer relevant, huh? Sorry, I'm just teasing you. There's going to be a Muppet Show special next year. Yeah. No, Wade, we actually did a video. Well, I did it. I covered it here on OG55, and George covered it on his channel as well. But like, to have Sabrina Carpenter as the first guest on the Muppet Show is brilliant on Disney's part. Just having her there is going to make that episode do banger numbers. But keep it up though, Disney. Get big names. Get Lisa from Blackpink. Get whoever you can get. Keep those numbers up. You know what I'm saying? The Muppets are a beautiful franchise. We want to keep them relevant. Like you said, Wade, we want to make sure that they're out there. The best way you can do that with the Muppet Show is utilize your special guests and get those big names. And I think you're good. What say you, George? You're going to answer to Wade's accusations?
Yes. So T.S. Wade, yes. It is funny because I feel like today's today's era in the generation, I feel like the Muppets are irrelevant to the younger generation. However, I do love that Disney, is not giving up on them. I love that in order to get the newer generation to make them relevant for themselves. Oh, how can we do that? Let's make a new Muppet show. Let's bring on big guest stars that the young generation can connect with, like Sabrina Carpenter, who she's also executive producing the special, by the way. Hopefully the special does well so it can transition into a show. They're putting the Muppets into Rock and Roller Coaster. So, I mean, I'm happy for it because I absolutely love the Muppets. So I hope in time that this could be the revival of the revival, because they did get revived a little bit in 2011 with the new Muppet movie, which we thought they were going to take off, which they did. But after that, it was like a one-hit wonder. So hopefully this would be kind of the redemption of the revival. Little R&R.
There we go. J. Brad here says having Sabrina Carpenter on the Muppets is a great idea because they're both the same size. That's funny. I like that. No, I actually really love Sabrina Carpenter. I think she's fantastic. And actually, as a K-pop person, I love Sabrina Carpenter because she loves all those K-pop groups. She was actually kind of flirting with Momo and Sana from Twice at her concert, which I thought was pretty awesome. And I don't blame her. I mean, Momo and Sana, they're pretty gorgeous. So I don't blame you, Sabrina. I don't blame you. Okay, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
there we go. Kiki and Luca, I want to thank you so much for gifting a OG55 membership. Kiki and Luca is an awesome dude. We appreciate you, Kiki and Luca. You're awesome. And everybody, I want to thank you all for joining.
One more. So sorry, I keep on cutting you off because again, I can't bring it up. And then he also gifted one for mine. It still reads as Citrico Central. I don't know why it didn't like update that, but thank you, Kiki and Luca. Greatly appreciate you and all your support of the channel and everything. It's greatly appreciated.
100%. Okay, so we're going to close it out with some special announcements. We have the one and only Mimi Fan. She is the lovely gal who does our outro here on OG55. If you're in the LA area or the OC area and you're looking for good Vietnamese food, some Korean barbecue, boba, or just fun places to go, Mimi is your girl. Check her out on Instagram, Mimi Fan, or you can check her out on YouTube down below in the description. Make sure you subscribe to her. She's a lovely lady. We love Mimi Fan here on OG55. We also love Jared from Capture the Magic, who sells nerdy t-shirts. And Jared, I'm sure everyone at home has seen Jared here on the show. He looks ripped, right? Dude is all chest and bicep, right? You want to look like Jared? You want to look ripped? Buy one of these shirts. You can be ripped just like Jared. But you get 10% off if you use OG55 as a promo code. So link down below. Check it out. Get all your favorite nerdy designs, both for Disney and Universal. Promo code OG55 for 10% off. So we have Jared and the lovely Mimi. Make sure you check both of them out. All right, George, where can everybody find you on social media, my friend?
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone in the chat, by the way. Greatly appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for all your questions, comments, opinions, concerns to keep the conversation going. You know, it's always a great time. But if you'd like to find me, you can do so over at Hollow Gelato, where Abby and I have the real scoops on all things theme parks with Disney, Universal, Knott's Berry Farm, where we're literally boots on the ground, doing all sorts of activities, covering the new breaking news stuff in the theme parks, going on cruises, doing out of theater reactions. And then again, also to compliments to Cassandra that I will be doing a taste test around Disneyland for the pumpkin spice. That video will be up soon once we get to Disneyland and we film it. So definitely a lot of stuff coming on the horizon. So please go check out Hollow Gelato and also follow us on Instagram under Hollow Gelato as well.
There he is, Jabberwocky. Good night, OG55, the best Disney content on YouTube. Thank you so much, Jabberwocky. I do appreciate you, and I do love your name. I really, really do. And I do want to make a quick programming note. Sean Williams is in the house. He is actually going to be joining me tomorrow on a live around the same time, actually, tomorrow around 7 p.m. California time. He's from Walt's Apartment Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to him over there on YouTube. He's growing really fast. He's almost at 1,000 subscribers now. So big shout out to Sean. He'll be joining me tomorrow. We're gonna talk nerdy stuff, take your questions, and all that good stuff. Thank you all so much for watching.
Oh, sorry, really quick. And Disney Diva Gem, thank you so much for sharing out Holla Gelato. Greatly appreciate you.
There it is. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of OG55. Support all the amazing people that we referenced tonight, whether it be Mr. Holla, Delata, or Mimi Fan, or Jared Capture the Magic, or Hey Bricky, everybody, Drew the Disney Dude. We have an amazing family here at OG55, so support everybody here. Gem, you are an absolute rock star. Thank you for all your help tonight. We do appreciate you.
You really are a gem. That's it's in your name.
You are an absolute gem. We love you, Gem. Everyone have a great night. Talk to you.
Thank you so much for watching OG55. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and become a member today.